recipient. And I've been honored to be able to speak for Aaron Dubin, the Upper Dublin Male Outstanding Student. One of the things that I have always found most remarkable about Aaron is not only his superior intellect, but louder. Okay, now I'm going to change everything. Okay, not only do I find Aaron's superior intellect outstanding, but it's his character that makes him part of the total package. Better? During the time I've been at Upper Dublin, one of the things I've learned is that every student is special and unique, and that certainly holds true at Upper Dublin, and it very much holds true for Aaron. He's a student who doesn't do things for want of praise, but because they're things that he values and finds important. For example, he started a guitar club, and when he was very young, he did a lot of things that were not really in kilter with what everybody expected him to do. I agree with Mr. Collier when he says that it takes a village to make a child, and Aaron's roots are firmly grounded in his family. From the time he was a very little person, he had the good fortune to have a very loving and caring mom and dad who supported him through everything. And as time has gone on, and he's lost his mom, he still has a wonderful father, a caring stepmother, and wonderful siblings who have supported him. In fact, when he was just 6 years old, he came home and suggested to his mom and dad that he might like to try skateboarding. Well, you can imagine that that might not have been the goal that his parents had for him, and yet, nonetheless, they supported him through it. Now, his father, a dentist, was probably more than a little surprised the first time Aaron came home after a spill and gave him a big smile with two missing front teeth. But nonetheless, they can continue to support him in every endeavor. When he got into school, his elementary teachers noticed that there was something very special about him, and he made his mark at an early age. By the time he got to middle school, teachers were saying things like, "What a conscientious kid. How special he is. What an outstanding work ethic he has." In fact, to this day, there are teachers at the middle school who remember with great clarity the time he left for a very long extended trip to Australia and finally came back to the school and acted as if he had never missed a beat, making up all his work and acting like it was something everybody did every day. In fact, one of the teachers just recently said to me that she still looks at him with such special memories that she hopes her children will grow up to be just like him. And I can think of no honor for a student than to have a teacher say that. By the time Aaron got to high school, it didn't take long for him to leave his mark. I first met him when he came for his mandatory freshman meeting with his counselor. And that special and uniqueness came through because he had unusual poise and great charisma. Over the years, in addition to his mandatory meetings, he often stopped by the guidance office to ask a quick question, to seek advice, sometimes to vent about something, but more often just to peek his head in, tell me what was going on in his life, or to just say hello. And every time he left, any adult who was in the office would talk about what a remarkably poised, polite, and respectful young man Aaron has grown to be. And that goes back to it taking everybody in a village to make a child, because I feel that it is the support system of not only his home, but the people at school who have left their mark on him. Now, Aaron often says that he would like someday to have maybe his own business. And he's talked about doing entrepreneurial studies. He's talked about international relations. But I think he's going to be president of the United States. One of the things that I admire more than anything about Aaron is his genuine concern for other people. Last summer, he was privileged to be selected to go to the governor's school. And as many of you have already heard, that's a very unique program that is very selective, and only a number of students are invited after they have filled out a rigorous application. Aaron was fortunate enough to have gone to one of the schools. He was aghast when this winter he learned that because of budgetary cuts of the economy, that Governor Rendell was going to cut the governor's school. Now, this is a story many of you may have already heard, but the thing that I find most astounding about this is the efforts Aaron took had absolutely no effect on him. He'd already gone. He'd already benefited from it. And yet he and some of his classmates jumped on a letter writing and petition campaign. And those of you who would know Aaron would understand, he took it upon himself to go to Harrisburg and plop those letters and petitions on Governor Rendell's desk. Because of some of his efforts, he was then invited back, and he actually had the opportunity to speak before the House of Representatives Education Subcommittee in Harrisburg. And I have to tell you, as a participant in the audience, he left them spellbound. It was amazing how many of our representatives just kept nodding their head as he spoke. And as soon as the session was over, made a point of coming over to him and to the other students who were present and telling them just how spectacular they are and what wonderful role models they will be for the future. Did I say that someday I think he might be president? He is well on his way. So without further ado, it is my greatest privilege and fantastic honor to introduce to you Aaron Dubin.